Did you ever wonder what spirituality does for you in recovery?
Well, in this episode, we'll show you how our willingness to walk in the light of our higher power taught us how to love, care for, and feel compassion for others and even ourselves. Well, it's August 1st, and it's time for another double shot from My Sober Truth. Sean, we've made it to August.
Yeah.
And so since it's August, we're obviously talking about step 8.
That's right.
But I like this reading today, and they're not even talking about step 8 yet.
Right.
In fact, we kind of looked ahead the next few days, and the next 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 days we're going to talk on this show. We're going to be talking about, are you ready for step 8?
Right. Basically, it's again and again, what I'm getting out of the next few days in this is, okay, we're going to do step 8. Are you sure you did steps 1 through 7?
Exactly.
You might want to check one more time. Make sure you hold on the third. Just check one more time. Make sure you did 1 through 7, right?
Exactly. And again, we're going to talk about this over the next few days, so we won't waste a lot of time talking about, are you ready? Because we want to dive into this subject. But again, it's that concept of, I like how this started. The spiritual life it's not a theory.
Right.
We have to live it. And so when we're talking about recovery and living out that spiritual life, walking in the light, as we like to say, how does that help your recovery journey?
Well, so I have a little note here that I took, and it's something that I've seen talked about a lot of times in recovery circles and in other circles, as a matter of fact. But basically, it's when I'm walking in the light, when I'm living a spiritual based life. When day in and day out, I'm trying to do the next right thing.
Right.
When I'm living a life of trying to be of service to my fellows. When I'm walking in that light, the circumstances of what's going on around me aren't nearly as important. They're just circumstances.
Right.
They're just things that are going on. It's not always something I've caused. Sometimes it is something I've caused. But either way, my spiritual journey, my spirituality, being in good, constant touch, being in contact with my higher power, it allows me to understand that this is just stuff. It's noise.
Right.
It's the noise of life, and it is life, and it doesn't just happen to me. I'm not getting screwed over by my higher power or
Right.
by the universe or however you want to look at it. I'm not getting messed with. It's just life.
Right.
It's just things that happen. So when I am staying in touch with my higher power, the outside circumstances don't mean as much. They are just things to deal with. And you deal with them as they come. And I talk about it all the time. It's because it's the way that I live my life. The serenity prayer.
Right.
God, grant me the serenity. I deal with the things that I can deal with, let go of the things that I can't deal with, that I don't have any control over. And basically, it's my prayer that I pray every day. God, just give me the sense to know the difference between the
Absolutely.
two. Let me work on the things I can. Let me not work on the things I can't. Let them go and not worry about all of it. Know that my sense of my higher power tells me that it's going to be okay.
Amen.
Right up until the time it's time for me not to be here in this life anymore, it's going to be okay.
So I want to dial back to the first part of this question that we talked about at the beginning. That what we're going to talk about is that's what it helped you. But how did it help you in regards to other people? Specifically, how did it in regards to showing them love, showing compassion, showing them mercy? How did that spiritual life that you gained in recovery help you in relating to other people?
So there's this thing that my sponsor used to say to me all the time, and this is a really tough one to get when you're in the heat of an argument, a disagreement, a resentment. I'm not perfect at this stuff. I don't live my life like this 24/7 every day. I have things that get under my skin. Things bother me. But I can go back to that serenity prayer, and I can pray for my higher power to help me realize what I can deal with, what I can't deal with, and move on. But this thing that my sponsor used to say to me all the time was that he had never met a person that he thought had wronged him a person he wanted to, for lack of a better way to put it, give a lump on the head.
Right.
He'd never met a person that he wanted to give a lump on the head that wouldn't have been better served by a hug.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tough thing to wrap your head around when you're actually in a resentment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's so true, because most of the time when I think someone has wronged me, they haven't really wronged me. They're just living their life the best that they can. They may not have the spiritual knowledge or the spiritual connection with a higher power that I have. Or maybe they do have it and they're just not in it in that moment. Just like I get out of it sometimes, other people get out of that connection.
Right.
And it's not losing my higher power or anything else. It's, I'm facing my higher power and having that connection. Every once in a while I go, hey, well, it's over here. And when I do that, I kind of get disconnected. I'm really not disconnected, but it feels like I'm a little bit disconnected or discombobulated from that connection that I have. So when I'm dealing with other people, if I can remember that my sponsor told me, that what this person probably needs is someone to understand them. What they're really trying to do is be heard.
Right.
What they're really trying to do is have someone understand them and their point of view and where they're coming from. And a lot of times the hardest part of doing that for me, and I suspect with a lot of people, the hardest part of that is usually with people that I love or that I care about, because those are the people that I want to understand me the most. Right. And they're also the people that understand me the least sometimes. And,
and given that we're in step 8, we're working our way to step 9, it's the people that you're going to make amends to.
Right.
And so,
hey, you understand me? No, you understand me? No, I want you to understand me. If I can step back from that and remember, all right, let me just listen for a little while.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I start listening, and then something connects and I go, oh, so that's where they're coming from. I didn't get that at first. When I can do that, life goes better. It
sounds like it's all interconnected. We gave the preview warning that, the next 6 or 7 days that we're talking about, are you really ready for step 8?
Right.
And this is tackling one of those questions. Absolutely. Because if I can recap what you just said, it's like your relationship with your higher power, feeling understood, feeling that compassion, feeling that care, feeling that love for yourself helps you feel it for the other people in your life.
There are still things in my life that, the steps are not, it's not a one and done. I'm finished. Right. I'm constantly working on my whole life. So it leads to me having a better life when I can keep the steps involved in my life. So that being said, there are going to be people that I have to make amends to for things that I did wrong, that I still have a resentment against for something that they did wrong.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we're talking about right now. Is, am I really ready for this step? Because it's real easy for me to go, yeah, I did that. But remember what they did?
Yeah.
Well, I did wrong, but that's nothing compared to what they did to me.
Right.
Well, that's not the point of this whole thing.
Exactly.
It's two separate things. You deal with your resentments in one way and you deal with your amends in another way.
Absolutely.
And that's where we're trying to get to is, let's just make sure, going into battle, you want to make sure your soldier is prepared before you go into battle. We want to make sure that we are spiritually prepared before we send ourselves into battle of doing these amends. So it's a great topic. I love talking about it.
Oh, and we're going to be talking about it a whole lot more this month for sure. But as we wrap this episode up, let's see what our viewers say about this topic. So guys, tell us this. How has walking in the light of your higher power taught you to feel love, compassion, and care for other people in your life and, even yourself? Take a few minutes to think about the question and put your answer down in the comment section below. We can't wait to read what you have to say on this subject. And on that note, for My Sober Truth, I'm Mark.
Hey, and I'm Sean. And here's hoping that today you stay drunk with success. Love y'all. Hi, folks. Thanks for watching. If you're ready for another round of My Sober Truth, then belly on up to mysobertruth.com and click on the double shot button today. There you'll find the daily inspiration, encouragement, and support that'll help you stay clean, on track, and growing in every area of your life. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you got a minute, stick around, watch another video. Love y'all.